Guys, welcome to the show. We got a dog who will be coming into frame any moment, seeking attention. There we go. Right on cue, young man, right on cue. Today, I had or a few days ago, I had a comment. Can't remember who it was, apologies, but it was, hey, are solar panels a good idea? Is that a good home upgrade to do? And I thought, you know what, that's a great topic and something that we should talk about, because if you talk to anyone who's in the solar industry, they will, of course, convince you that it is. And if you talk to some people who are not working for solar companies, they'll be like, whatever, and they'll have their opinion about it. So let me give you a brief background here. I recently got solar, maybe 7 months ago, something like that. And I was totally resistant to the idea. I don't even know why. Mainly it's because I hate dealing and sitting through those sales pitches where you're like, oh my God, like anything else I would rather do than sit through a door-to-door sales pitch. But the kid came and I was like, fuck it, fine. Send the guy, tell him like he's got his work cut out for him. So I sat down with the guy, and by the end of the thing, I was like, fuck it, I guess I'm getting solar. And so I realized why the solar sales reps make quite a bit of money, actually. Those guys do pretty damn well for themselves because it's a really easy pitch. So from a sort of independent, neutral third party here, let me tell you why I got solar and why you may consider it. It's the same reason, largely, that you would get a mortgage versus continuing to rent. Because if you think about it, what a mortgage is, it is a hedge against rising rents, okay? Rent's gonna constantly go up. But if I buy a 30-year mortgage, if I buy a house with a 30-year mortgage on it right now, it doesn't matter what happens with rents. It doesn't matter what happens with the housing market. My payment is locked in now. So I'm paying right now on this house to lock my price in. That way, if my house is one day $2 million instead of $500,000, I'm paying on it like it's $500,000. And so solar is the same way. Here's how they got me. And I was like, damn, that's a good pitch and you can't really argue with it, which is energy costs are constantly on the rise, okay? And so, they show you the little graph and they're like, hey, look, 10 years ago, here's what I'm just going to say per kilowatt or whatever the fuck of energy power. Here's what 1 kilowatt of energy cost you 10 years ago. Here's what it costs now, okay? And you go, which probably implies that 10 years from now, that kilowatt's going to be even more expensive. So if you set up solar right now and you get enough panels to cover your entire energy bill, right? And I think that's really the key to it, to go, hey, look, what is my energy cost, right? How many panels do I need to cover that year's worth of energy costs? And maybe throw on one extra panel so that I have a little buffer room in case, the year's extra hot or whatever it is. That's what I did. Unfortunately, it does not appear that formula worked out perfectly, because right now I'm still paying about $20 a month on my energy bill, even though it's probably going to be a little more than that in the summer, but I've been still paying about $20 a month. But I look at it like this. Hey, if all of my energy is covered with solar, and it's like a 20-year mortgage, if you will, like a loan, it would be a better term, right? It's like a 20-year loan to pay off your panels. Zero money out of pocket. So I put zero money down, get a state and federal tax credit, which for me was about $6,500. So when that $6,500 comes in on the first tax year, when you get that tax return or tax credit, however you look at it, you immediately send that to the solar payment provider, whoever that is, because that's going to keep your payment where it's at now. It's just how it works, long story short. So you get that tax credit, you apply that towards your payment. And hey, for the next 20 years, I'm paying, for me, it's like $70 a month. So you go, okay, over the course of every month, I pay $70, and then maybe another, $10 to $20 a month for my actual power bill. But what that's saving me is that as energy costs continue to rise over time, doesn't matter. Like, my solar covers virtually all of my power expense. So, hey, if the kilowatt triples in the next 5 years, doesn't really matter, because I locked in my energy payment of this solar format at this rate at this time. So that's why I did it. So I do actually believe, in retrospect now, I don't know why I was so negative on it for years, but I think that solar is a good idea. And I told the guy straight up, I'm like, look, if this costs me anything out of pocket, I'm not doing it right now. I'm a small business owner with still a relatively new business that, is being stood up and everything. And I'm not willing to spend $5,000 out of pocket on this. And I didn't have to. So I would say, look, if you're a homeowner, depending on where you live, consider it, because I think it could be a really good option in the long term. Is it going to save you a lot right here, right now? Probably not. You probably about break even short term, but in the long term, I think that's where you win. That's my theory. That's why I did it. Quick, well, not a whiskey hit today, a rum bottle today. So this is, I think they would pronounce it Travelers because there's two L's instead of Travelers. But it's a 5-year rum. It is Belizean, so this is an out-of-the-country rum. I don't know how easily you will be able to find this here in the States, but I would recommend it. I recently have been sipping on some rum and found it to be more enjoyable than I remembered Captain Morgan's to be in high school. Not in high school because I would have been underage, but when I was of legal age and drinking shitty Captain Morgan's, this is a lot better than that. So hey, if you can ever find that, pick some up. It's quite delicious and a nice little summer drink. Hope you guys are doing well. If you need real estate help, let us know. And if you like firearms, then maybe check out our other channel. It's called the 1911 Syndicate, and it's a lot more fun than this channel. This one is boring as shit. The other channel gets a little bit more thrills here and there. So check that out. Drop us a comment. These questions, is solar good, stuff like that. Frankly, it gives us stuff to talk about. So drop a comment below. We'll see you guys next time.